All right, let's talk about the 2014 World Cup. Team USA getting ready for another big test. Sunday, their showdown with Portugal. This is News 10 soccer analyst Paul Janes. He joins us once again. Thanks again, buddy.
Sure thing, Dan.
Let's talk about the big challenge on Sunday against Portugal. U.S. is preparing for it, and they've got to prepare for a very talented team, don't they?
They do. I mean, even with a few key injuries, they've still got some good players, especially across the midfield with obviously Cristiano Ronaldo,
sure,
best player in the world right now. But you've also got João Moutinho and Nani on the right side, so they can come at you down the wings, which they like to do.
The fact that Portugal lost its first game, that make them more dangerous, do you think?
Well, they're going to be desperate,
yeah.
And the fact that they lost by 4 goals, they need to make up some goal differential, so they're going to be attacking. But that could really play into the U.S.'s hands as well, because the U.S. counterattacks pretty well themselves.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about what we saw yesterday. Paul's a big fan of the Brits, and you're a little disappointed because England didn't look their best against Uruguay. Luis Suarez scored 2 goals. The second one is the one that I really want to ask you about. This one, that's just a great play. The second one, the English defense, they went sleeping.
Yeah, you can't leave one of the best strikers in the world unmarked.
No.
I mean, even off a deflection, Gary Cahill gets caught just watching him. And it shows you the impact that one world-class player can have despite coming off an injury. And that's what the U.S. have to look out for in Ronaldo. At 100%, 60%, whatever he is, that guy can hurt you, and he can hurt you at all different aspects of the game. Free kicks, headers, he's so dangerous. And just like Suarez showed you there, the U.S. don't want to get caught the same way.
Now, we're talking about the injuries on the other teams. What about the injuries for the Americans? Because we now know Josie Altidore has been ruled out of Sunday's game. You and I have said, after what we saw on Monday, he's done for the Cup.
You got to think so.
Yeah.
I mean, a hamstring like that, soccer players need their hamstrings.
Yeah.
So,
how big of an absence is that for them?
Well, it's big. I mean, the way they play, the style they play, Klinsmann loves to have him up there solo and holding up the possession to feed off the guys who are trailing him. So it's going to be a big impact for him. But I think what comes into play here more than whoever fills in for him is what Klinsmann does tactically. Whether he just slots Johansson in, player for player, or whether he changes up the formation, throws another midfielder in to kind of beef up the attack that way. It'll be really interesting to see how the coach handles this. And I think, maybe Wondolowski can get a chance in there as the game progresses. Johansson can do well, but I don't think he can play that same role that Altidore does. He's not as strong. You may just see Dempsey up there solo, and they may put 5 across the middle.
What about the 19-year-old wonder child? Julian?
Yeah. No, I don't think you'll see him in this tournament. I'd be shocked if you saw him at all.
He's just sitting on the bench getting experience?
I think so.
Okay, well, it's USA and Portugal, 3 o'clock. It'll be on ESPN. 16 million people watched the game on Monday. Got to figure the numbers are going to be even greater on Sunday.
Yeah. The better they do, the better those numbers are going to be.
All right, well, keep enjoying it. Thank you so much for joining us, Paul Janes.